Welcome to Mr. Community. I'm your host, Reggie Reg Davis, and I'm so very proud to say that I'm sitting here with the legendary. He's a G. he's many cats like myself. We look up to him as like a godfather. He's the mayor of the greatest little city, our little brother city, Highland Park, a city that I grew up in. Welcome to the program, Mayor Yopp.
Good morning, and glad to be here. We're going to talk about the great city of Highland Park.
Absolutely. And when you hear the name Highland Park, let's say you're somewhere in Europe and someone says, Highland Park, I heard of that. What is it really all about? What's the first few things that you announce to the people that say that?
I tell them that if they know about Highland Park, they know about the greatest city in the country at one point. Highland Park was the model city of the continental United States at one point.
Really?
Yes, it was.
And what made it that way?
The people, the school system, the city as a whole. People was on a waiting list to get a home in Highland Park at one point.
Because you have beautiful homes. The stock there is still gorgeous, man. Beautiful brick homes.
That's
and
right.
People don't understand that, man.
Good housing stock.
Yeah. But in short, Mayor Yopp, if you don't mind going here, what happened to the city of Highland Park? Because some people now, they think of it and they say destitute community, fire burned homes, violence, school systems is out of whack. What happened to Highland Park?
Well, the funding, for one thing, the state government, federal government, we normally get money from the government, such as revenue sharing, which would sponsor the police and fire departments, but now we take that out of our general fund budget. And we were hit hard when the mass exit from Highland Park took place, and of course drugs come along, and that kind of hindered progress as well.
So let's talk about the difference, the transition. Now that you're here for a second time over as mayor of Highland Park, what's better about Highland Park today, and what are you guys doing to make it even better for tomorrow?
Well, we're developing our downtown, our TIFA unit, which is initially a federal government grant that gave us money to develop a downtown. We have a very good group of people that's working at Ms. Teresa Johnson and her board. Marley also helps us with that. We're doing a number of things to develop this downtown. We got this event coming up June 30th from 6 to 8 p.m. in front of 25-0, which is our fire department, which is south of Manchester, just east of Woodward. We're going to have street games, great food trucks, and it's going to be a great time to bring the community together. So we're looking forward to that.
Tell us more, Mayor Yopp, about the TIFA group. Who are they again?
TIFA is a group that was started in the 80s when Chrysler moved out of Highland Park. That was our largest tax base. We got money from the federal government in the form of a UDAG grant. And Chrysler developed a development company called DevCo. And they handle that. They start to build over where on Manchester and Woodward, you find the mall there and the housing structures behind the west side of the mall. That's what DevCo did, and that's how UDAG grant came. And from that, we developed TIFA.
So, Mayor Yopp, just for those to know, the city of Detroit, is, as far as population, is somewhere in the neighborhood of 650,000, 700,000, somewhere in there. Highland Park is what, 10, 15,000 folks?
Well, according to the 2010 census, they say 12,000. I'd say more like 8,000.
Wow. So you got 8,000 folk that you are the commander-in-chief of, and that it's your responsibility to make sure that the quality of life of 8,000 people is provided for in the city of Highland Park. I want to ask you about this violence piece. You know, of course, I myself am the founder and president of the Ceasefire Youth Initiative, Inc. I lost 2 baby brothers to gun violence in the city of Detroit. Highland Park being right there in the center of everything, the same type of scenario. Well, it goes on. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Do you have, Mayor Yopp, the answer to stop the violence when it comes to primarily our youth?
I can tell you, if you look at the statistics, Highland Park is a very safe city. I think people live on yesterday, but today we have a very safe city. Our crime stats are way down. We have a great police chief in Chester Logan. Chester Logan worked with children, and Chester Logan believes in community-oriented policing, and so do I. That means that the community and the police work together. The block clubs, we have people making block club meetings that represent law enforcement, teaching and directing the children.
Well, if it works for you, why is it possible for you to sit down with maybe Mayor Mike Duggan, Chief James Craig, and tell them what works for the small town of 8,000 people in Highland Park, and how we can figure out how to make that work with 600,000-700,000 people?
Well, resources is one of the keys. You would have to have the personnel to deploy to the block clubs and to community events to work with those children at a young age. When I was a police officer, we met with kids, we worked with children, we played ball with children. We did everything with these kids as they were growing up. We used to patrol the alleys back when I was a police officer. We would stop in the alleys and share barbecue with families. So I got to know the family and the children. When I was on patrol, a number of times, I didn't take the child to youth division. I'd take the child home because I knew the child well enough. And, of course, that depends on the type of infraction. If it was no felony, I'd take them home because I knew the parents, and we worked together. And that helps a lot in bringing your crime stats down.
Mayor Yopp, the city of Highland Park in 2025, describe it to us.
City of Highland Park is going to be a booming city like it was many years ago, if not better. And I can say that what we're doing now, we're bringing in, we got plans to bring in a bank. We got plans to bring this downtown up to par. We got plans to educate our block club presidents in writing proposals to get funded for grants. And there are grants out there that will fix sidewalks, tree trimming, blight removal. We are preparing our folk to survive in the future.
How about with the school system? Where will it be? The school system in Highland Park, where will it be in 2025?
Well, we're planning now. We're working with Mr. Kevin Smith, the emergency manager, and our school system, our school president, Ms. Ramsey. What we'd like to do is bring the Ford School up to a high school and use Liberty School as a middle school. We have George Washington Carver. But we are sending our resources, and our children are our resources. We're sending them out to other communities, being bussed out. For the first time in 100 years, we don't have a high school. And that really bothers me because I grew up in Highland Park and we had the best school system.
Wow.
Yep.
Wow. Mayor Yopp, one more again, the event, tell us about it again.
The event's going to be June 30th, 6 to 8 p.m. at 25 Jurrell. That's on the east side of Woodward, south of Manchester. There's going to be food trucks. There's going to be games for the kids. And we want to bring the community together. And we're going to get this city back on the map.
Highland Park is back, y'all. The great HP with my man, the great one, Mayor Yopp. I appreciate you stopping by, Godfather. Thank you so much. God bless you, man. Good to see you.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right. Mayor Yopp. Check him out. Highland Park is, I don't care what nobody say. And he's not just here talking by himself. I grew up in Highland Park. Reggie Reg, your cousin. I went to St. Benedict. I went to the Boys and Girls Club. Love Highland Park. My mom went to school, studied nursing at Highland Park Community College. Highland Park is everything. It's a great town. Come and be a part of the comeback. We love you, Detroit. Thanks for watching, Mr. Community. I'm your host, Reggie Reg. Yeah.